Hello to all of the gamers tuning in, and welcome to our Radeon RX 6000 series product reveal. Allow me to introduce you to our brand new AMD Radeon RX 6800 XT graphics card.
I'm so excited to share with you for the very first time the AMD Radeon RX 6900 XT.
Ladies and gentlemen, our new flagship GPU, the NVIDIA GeForce RTX 3080. It is wonderfully crafted. It's going to look beautiful in your PC.
Whoa, Jensen, slow your roll, because that would be great if we could buy one.
Orders for NVIDIA's latest GPU RTX 3080 went live today, but it seems like demand grossly outpaced NVIDIA's expectations. It's pretty typical for new GPUs to go out of stock on launch day, but it happened almost instantly with the 3080.
Firstly, I think everyone is aware now that launch day stock was atrocious. We're talking Ampere level bad. Many retailers and physical locations have talked about getting only double-digit numbers for their store. I think we heard this a lot of times at places including Micro Center. So yeah, terrible stock levels at launch with everything selling out practically straight away.
I don't know about you, but I'm having a little bit of trouble believing that both companies, NVIDIA and AMD, miscalculated the demand for their GPUs. NVIDIA CEO Jensen Huang last year was on Mad Money on CNBC and openly said that as the CEO of NVIDIA, he has to live 10 years in the future.
Well, CEOs have to live 10 years in the future. And the reason for that is because if you don't, then you won't know what the strategies are. You can't look around the corners. You just can't invent the future, develop the right strategies. Now, our industry is moving so fast, it's hard to live 10 years in the future. But we still have to try. And so we try things, and sometimes it doesn't always work out, and we have to pivot and adapt. But I'm surrounded by amazing people. We live 10 years in the future.
Jensen Huang has been the CEO of NVIDIA for 27 years. This is just my opinion, but you don't stay as the CEO of a large corporation like that by misstepping and miscalculating. On AMD, Dr. Lisa Su, AMD CEO, was on CNBC just this past April, talking about how COVID-19 is positively affecting AMD's revenue, which is up 40% year over year, in large part to the higher sales of computing and graphics products.
A good story for both work at home and also play at home. Both sides are working in your favor.
Yeah, so I would say in this world that we're living in, there are a couple of secular trends that are positive for computing. Work from home is positive. We saw a significant growth in notebooks. A lot of people are refreshing their notebooks either for use at home or for use in schooling, and so that's a nice secular trend. Consoles, gaming, another important trend for us.
Inferring from Dr. Su's statement on increased sales due to the current work-from-home situation, no one knows when the coronavirus situation will be resolved. For all we know, working from home will be a reality for a majority of the workforce who can work from home. Going forward, I don't see how they would have missed an increased demand when releasing new products, especially those who are looking to refresh their computers or computer components to do double duty, work and play. On September 21, 2020, NVIDIA issued this, I think you would call this an apology, regarding the RTX 3080 launch. And I'm going to read some of it just to get the main thought of the apology out. But they said last week's GeForce RTX 3080 launch was simultaneously the best GPU launch ever and the most frustrating. The reception to our NVIDIA Ampere architecture GPUs have been off the charts and driven interest to heights we've never previously experienced. We expected the best ever demand for the RTX 30 series, they said here, but the enthusiasm was overwhelming and we were not prepared for this level, nor were our partners, and we apologize for this. So I guess it is a real apology. So, okay, so, that's the that's the main gist / thought of this press release. I call this a press release. So they're saying that the GeForce RTX 3080 is in full production, and they have been increasing the supply weekly. And their partners, namely Asus, MSI, Zotac, and the rest of them are also ramping up capacity to meet the unprecedented demand. Now, the funny thing about this is that so one company issues an apology, and then the other one, AMD, doesn't even feel like they need to do that. So let's take a look at this, and this is going to trigger a lot of folks, right? So, and this is from PCMag.com. So the title of this article says the AMD's Radeon RX 6800 cards sell out instantly, sparking cries of paper launch. Okay. So he talks about how early he got to try to do this, and he got some other people involved to try to get him a card, and then he failed, basically, right? They found no listings for AMD graphics cards on Amazon or Walmart, so their only hope is to try and secure one from Best Buy, which lists them as coming soon, which I did take a look at that. It is coming soon. And then the scalpers who used bots to buy them on eBay, or the ones that actually lined up to stores and were able to get one, were already hawking them at ridiculous prices on eBay. So many angry consumers are labeling this a paper launch, and Frank Azor, AMD's chief architect of gaming solutions and marketing, rejects those paper launch accusations. Says, paper launch has always meant to me no supply. We are supplying chips and cards in volume, he said in a tweet, and the demand for gaming devices has grown exponentially this year and beyond anyone's best forecasts. We want nothing more than to put more cards in the hands of gamers, and they're working to do so. So, the funny thing is, this guy, Frank Azor, he accepted a bet from Andre Elijah, he works at Snapchat. So Andre was saying that he's going to be screwed because he wasn't able to pick up a 3090, and this is the 3090 launch, and they were all the same. The 3090, 3080, 3070 launch were all just a disaster. And he says $10 says AMD will be a paper launch too. So this is when, right after the NVIDIA launch, he couldn't secure one of those cards. And then he's betting that AMD is going to do the same. And then Frank Azor, the guy I was just talking about, the chief architect of gaming solutions and marketing at AMD, says he looks forward to taking the $10. So he took this guy's bet. Okay. Now, going back to the statement here, paper launch has always meant to mean no supply. No, none of us are actually saying that it meant no supply. It means you didn't make enough for the demand, or at least a larger part of the demand. Okay, it's the same thing for AMD and for NVIDIA. It wasn't, we're calling it a paper launch, or I was calling it a paper launch, and I'm sure all of you guys were calling it a paper launch because there wasn't enough to cover more of the demand for the product. I think it's important to take a look at NVIDIA and AMD, why they did this, because I think that they did this on purpose, and to show you that and to support my opinion. Then this is just my opinion. To support my opinion, we'll take a look at how NVIDIA and AMD make money. So Forbes has put out this article back in February of 2020, and this is before before the launch of both companies' products of the new GPU lines. Okay, it says here NVIDIA's total revenue has grown from 9.71 billion in 2018 to 10.92 billion in 2020, and is expected to further grow to 13.1 billion in 2021. NVIDIA's GPU segment is expected to make 87% of the 13.1 billion in NVIDIA's expected 2021 revenues, and they're expecting this to drive NVIDIA's revenue growth. With the GPU segment is expected to be the single biggest revenue driver with 11.36 billion in revenues, which is the 87%. Which is expected to be 6.5 times the size of its Tegra processor's volume in 2021. So let's take a look at this, right? So they created this dashboard here, and there's also another one for AMD, but we'll look at the NVIDIA one first. So for NVIDIA, and this was done on Trefis, okay? So this is the forecast. How NVIDIA makes money. So the same text, NVIDIA's GPU segment to make 87% of the 13.1 billion in 2021 revenues expected forecast, whatever, while being a key to NVIDIA's revenue growth. What they're trying to say here is that out of the total amount here, one is GPU, which is the biggest driver of revenues, and that's 87%, and only 13% of their revenues is being driven by Tegra processors. Okay? Now, and that's their business, the design and develop graphics processing units, right? And we all know that. So now we're taking a look at this chart, which is a percent change in total revenue. So this is what they're seeing as what the past and into 2022 is. So there's a dip in their in what they're seeing here. So what I think, and this is just my opinion, is that they're trying to push the demand that they didn't satisfy this year into next year to help with this slump that they're seeing in their chart. I might be crazy, but it seems very logical that you would want a large amount of your demand spill over into the next fiscal year, or at least in the next year, so you can drive some of these numbers up. And it's the same for AMD. Their numbers are similar. I mean, let's take a look at their chart here. Although they don't go into 2022 here, it's still the same. What they're seeing. See, the change in computing and graphics is right here too. So there was a slump and it came up and it's kind of stagnant right here. Okay, and this is what's important to us, the computing and graphics. So I might be crazy, but it seems very logical to me that you would push your demand into the next year to help with these numbers. In the end, this is just my opinion. And you know how it is with opinions. Everybody's got one and they all stink. Bottom line is, we're still going to buy the GPUs, no matter how we feel about what just happened this year. This is just one guy's opinion amongst others. And truthfully, I'm probably going to buy one once they're available on the market. Maybe not right away, maybe towards the end of the year next year. And these companies, they can do whatever the heck they want. And we're still going to buy their product because they're the two competing brands. Maybe we need more competition. And you know how it is when there's more competition, it fosters innovation. So maybe that's what we need. And until then, we're stuck. Well, I hope you guys liked this video. Please hit the thumbs up if you did. And if you didn't, you know what to do. I encourage you guys to comment and share. And I will see you in the next one.